欢迎收看今天新闻报，我是主播蔡欣怡。新闻首先要带您关注的是联合国第75届大会22日起在纽约举行，而受到疫情影响，今年各国元首都以视讯的方式来发表演说。而中国国家主席习近平在他的演讲内容中强调，中国讲究的是和平发展，并没有意图要称霸或者是扩张，也没有意愿要跟任何的国家搞冷战或者是热战。同时呢，他也强调呢，疫情当前最重要的是团结渡过难关，而非互相对立。如此呢，才能让世界卫生组织的领导发挥作用。一起来看习近平的演讲。
First, COVID-19 reminds us that we're living in an interconnected global village with a common stake. All countries are closely connected, and we share a common future.No country can gain from others' difficulties or maintain stability by taking advantage of others' troubles. To pursue a beggar-thy-neighbor policy or just watch from a safe distance when others are in danger will eventually land one in the same trouble faced by others. This is why we should embrace the vision of a community with a shared future in which everyone is bound together. We should reject attempts to build blocks to keep others out and oppose a zero-sum approach. We should see each other as members of the same big family, pursue win-win cooperation and rise above ideological disputes and not fall into the trap of clash of civilizations. More importantly, we should respect a country's independent choice of development path and model. The world is diverse in nature. We should turn this diversity into a constant source of inspiration, driving human advancements. This will ensure that human civilizations remain colorful and diversified. Fourth, COVID-19 reminds us that a global governance system calls for reform and improvement. COVID-19 is a major test of the governance capacity of countries. It is also a test of the global governance system. We should stay true to multilateralism and safeguard the international system with the UN at the core.Global governance should be based on a principle of extensive consultation, joint cooperation, and shared benefits so as to ensure that all countries enjoy equal rights and opportunities and follow the same rules. The global governance system should adapt itself to evolving global political and economic dynamics, meet global challenges, and embrace the underlying trend of peace, development, and win-win cooperation. It is natural for countries to have differences.What's important is to address them through dialogue and consultation. Countries may engage in competition, but such competition must be positive and healthy in nature. When in competition, countries should not breach the moral standard and should comply with international norms. In particular, major countries should act like major countries. They should provide more global public goods, take up their due responsibilities, and live up to people's expectations.Mr. President, since the start of this year, we, the 1.4 billion Chinese, undaunted by the strike of COVID-19, and with the government and the people united as one, have made all-out efforts to control the virus and speedily restore the life and economy of normalcy. We have every confidence to achieve our goals within the set time frame to finish the building of a moderately prosperous society in all respects, lift out of poverty all rural residents living below the current poverty line, and meet 10 years ahead of schedule the poverty eradication target set out in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.China is the largest developing country in the world, a country that is committed to peaceful, open, cooperative, and common development. We will never seek hegemony, expansion, or sphere of influence. We have no intention to fight either a cold war or a hot one with any country. We will continue to narrow differences and resolve disputes with others through dialogue and negotiation. We will not seek to develop only ourselves or engage in zero-sum game. We will not pursue development behind closed doors. Rather, we aim to foster over time a new development paradigm with domestic circulations as the mainstay and domestic and international circulations reinforcing each other. This will create more space for China's economic development and add impetus to global economic recovery and growth.
而今年的联合国大会适逢中美关系恶化、新冠肺炎大流行以及香港和新疆的议题正热，华府和北京的冲突在一开始就浮出了台面。美国总统川普的日录演讲中指出呢，关于新冠病毒，他称它为中国病毒，而且呢指出中国必须要对他们的作为负责。来看看川普的发言。
Chinese government and the World Health Organization, which is virtually controlled by China, falsely declared that there was no evidence of human-to-human transmission. Later, they falsely said people without symptoms would not spread the disease. The United Nations must hold China accountable for their actions. 75 years after the end of World War II and the founding of the United Nations, we are once again engaged in a great global struggle. We have waged a fierce battle against the invisible enemy, the China virus. In the United States, we launched the most aggressive mobilization since the Second World War. We rapidly produced a record supply of ventilators, creating a surplus that allowed us to share them with friends and partners all around the globe. We will distribute a vaccine. We will defeat the virus. We will end the pandemic. And we will enter a new era of unprecedented prosperity, cooperation, and peace. As we pursue this bright future, we must hold accountable the nation which unleashed this plague onto the world, China. In the earliest days of the virus, China locked down travel domestically while allowing flights to leave China and infect the world. China condemned my travel ban on their country, even as they canceled domestic flights and locked citizens in their homes. The Chinese government and the World Health Organization, which is virtually controlled by China, falsely declared that there was no evidence of human-to-human transmission. Later, they falsely said people without symptoms would not spread the disease. The United Nations must hold China accountable for their actions.
而美国总统川普的发言再度触怒了北京。中国外交部发言人华春莹以及中国驻联合国大使张军接连开枪，再度重申中方绝对不接受美方无理取闹的指责。而中国驻联合国大使张军不满地表示，美方在联合国大会对中国的指责毫无道理。在国际社会全力抗击新冠病毒的时候，美国却在传播政治病毒，挑起对立，制造分裂。而华春莹也在官方 Twitter 上写下，在联合国大会的讲台上，中国放眼世界，但是美国呢却紧盯着中国不放，暗讽川普意图甩锅抹黑中国，但中国所想的却是如何促进全球合作。而回到国内呢，立法院昨日举行了召集委员会选举，由于召委能决定要找哪个行政单位来开会跟排法案，因此呢是各党团争夺的目标。而这个会期又遇上了含瘦肉精的美猪进口议题，因此呢社会福利及卫生环境委员会、经济委员会更是焦点中的焦点。最后呢是由国民党立委蒋万安以及民进党立委陈莹抢下召委的职位，在未来的美猪议题中将握有主导权。来看立法院的状况。
可以吗？好，走。黄色衣服的大哥，就跟你拍。耶！可以吗？好，走。黄色衣服的大哥，就跟你拍。耶！
这一席太重要，太重要！为了国内的食安哦，为了我们的食安，为了我们的食安把关，恭喜！太好了，你也当到恭喜，不要再骂我了。好，有礼让给陈莹哦。准备好要认定吗？不要认定哦。谁还照抽？谁要认定？这个不是角色。谁还照抽？按照我家长也不太适合直接说有效无效。我们是给你参考。 立法院的法律我看一下。立法院的法律就是由监察院来看。对啊，OK 啊，监察院。
我尊重中协会的，但是中协会的案例啊，没有完全跟那张两个抽印的完全一样，所以我也不敢认定这张有效，是吧？
对，要勇敢。
他都无效，他都没有完全一样的啊，位置也没有完全一样的啊。所以如果以我监察员的来讲，我认为无效。
无效啊，
好不好？
无效盖成这样子。
但问题我讲的无效有没有用，我不知道啊。
这张是有一模一样的。
都当立法委员会盖这样子，莫名其妙。对不对？是表会盖在头的上面。说两个都盖在头上，无效啊！我们就勇敢，无效就无效啊。那你们无效就一定还要有效，对。但是投诉我们也承担，投诉我们也承担。但这个是里面有人投诉我们承担啊。所以今天我们后来每次投诉都讲得清清楚楚，都在投诉啊。
委员，可以吗？可以吗？好，走，好不好？一，黄色衣服的大哥，这个你拍。耶！好了，这个太重要了，这一期太重要，太重要。
YouTube 昨天正式宣布 YouTube Kids 在台湾正式上线。YouTube 表示呢，这个服务拥有5大特色。第一个是以家庭为核心所设计，打造合家适宜的观赏环境；第二是提供一系列美术、音乐、体育和教育学习的影音主题；第三是容易使用，以大尺寸跟色彩鲜明的图示，方便孩子点选浏览各种影片。此外 ，YouTube 补充 YouTube Kids 拥有家长监护功能，家长可明确指定允许孩子观看的个别影片和频道。而最后 ，YouTube 也指出，该应用程式也提供了计时器功能，让家长可以轻松控管孩子的观看时间。中国解放军近期不断派出了运8运输机及反潜机骚扰台湾。日前空军呢邀请媒体参访第6联队 C130运输机，透过空中性能展示，展现了优于共军运8的灵敏性能。一起来看这段影片。
下降到落地安全高度。
关注国内新闻，台北市内湖区日前发生了一起公车开上人行道的车祸，造成了1名行人死亡以及1名巡逻警员重伤送医。三重客运近日公布了车祸当下的车内画面，该名许姓驾驶在驾驶过程中呢数度打瞌睡，最后呢误踩油门爆冲人行道。而该名许姓驾驶也向警方坦承了自己有吸毒的前科，甚至上周才吸食过安非他命。而全案目前以业务过失致死罪来侦办。
等一下，不往出去呀。
有关媒体报道，那肇事驾驶人曾有毒品前科的这一节啊，我们公司在事前是并不知悉的。那许源在民国107年7月18号到我们公司任职，那报到前都有依规缴交无基隆市政府警察局开立的在台湾地区无犯罪记录的证明。那他在报到前也有到那个怡兴诊所做那个无安非他命及吗啡的检测，也都是正常的。那另外他在108年的10月，还有109年的5月，那我们公司的健康检查有关毒品的检测也都是正常，并没有任何异状。那我们在109年3月也有随机抽测一些驾驶员，那他是在这一批的驾驶员中也都是正常，没有任何的异状。那我们公司也就在这个昨天发生这个事故，造成了那个许姓民众往生，还有那个执勤员警受伤，我们要再向罹难者家属，还有受伤的员警，还有所有的社会大众，再次致上我们最高的歉意。我们也会确实的检讨，避免这个不幸的事件再次的发生。
台湾无人机产业发展前景看好，为了鼓励优秀团队投入研发，科技部委办的2020绿能无人机创新大赛是国内最大的航空比赛，开放给各大专院校跟企业组队参加。而今年源自大学师生与无人机厂商航健科技、富宝能源集团所组成的团队源自智慧氢能，不但获得了分组第1名，更写下了氢能无人机来回龟山岛的创举。我们一起来看看这段影片。
冰斗在那个帐篷跟电塔那个点中间，然后有3色的斜线。我看到了，目视确认，看到了。看到了。在那里。对，过来了。看到了，要回来。他会以为飞蚊症。有人要进来了，要进场了。19分钟。瓦数，因为它被这排那个帐篷挡着，你要把这根笔电一起抱出来外面好了。对，那个台子，那个家峰把那个台子拿过去，那个工作台对拿出来。 这样有点紧，我们这样30分钟下得来，都19分钟对。因为我觉得应该是有遇到逆风了，应该有遇到逆风。我觉得有可能真的是遇到逆风了，应该是逆风。对。没有要走啊，要走啊！准备投弹。注意投出点对。那等它停下来。到达投掷点，到达投掷点。投下确认，投掷成功。接手动公领。公领控得到吗？现在是你在控吗 ？OK， 好。然后我们降落了。
以上是今天的今天新闻报，感谢您的收看，我们明天再会。